Mark Rogers TV back with you, always talking college football. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and catch the audio versions of our conversations with some of the best bloggers and broadcasters in college football on Stitcher, iTunes, and Podbean. We just wrapped up a series, hopefully you caught it, where we ranked the schedule 68 all the way up to number 1, all the Power 5 schedules. We now convert the schedules to a win-loss record. So these are the predictions that we are making for each and every team in Power 5 for 2017. So let's keep a couple things in mind before we start. First of all, you see a percentage ranking as we start with Syracuse in the ACC Atlantic Division. That is my win probability. So when Syracuse lines up in Week 1 against Central Connecticut State at home, I believe the Orange have a 90% chance of winning that game. That doesn't necessarily mean that I am picking that particular team to win over the other team. So let's take a classic example from 2016. Pitt played at Clemson. Clemson, a better team. They proved that from start to finish in winning the national championship. On that given day, Pitt won the game at Clemson 43-42. So the Panthers were certainly capable of winning a game against Clemson. If the two teams, and I mean the two 2016 teams, lined up again, I would pick Clemson to win that game. Pitt could again defeat Clemson on a particular day, but Clemson would have a 80% chance of winning at home against Pitt. So not necessarily does the better team with the best probabilities win each and every time. So I'm predicting what's going to happen. Let's also keep something else in mind. I'm going to predict college football games each and every weekend, and don't hold me to these predictions then. If for some reason Syracuse has an outstanding above expectation season and they play Wake, who is devastated by injuries and has proven to be the worst team, let's say, in the ACC, well, this prediction could change at that point. But for right now, leading into 2017, you can hold me to my overall predictions for each and every team. All right, Syracuse opens at home against Central Connecticut State. They win. Then they've got Rick Stockstill's Conference USA Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders to face, and I believe at home the Orange have a 60% chance of winning this game, meaning if they play 100 times, I would expect Syracuse to win 60 times. They don't on this particular Saturday, September 9th. Middle Tennessee, an 8-5 club from the Conference USA, wins it over the Cuse. Central Michigan's a win, coming off a 6-7 campaign and a 70% probability. Win for the Cuse, they're 2-1. All right, now it becomes tough. Go to LSU, not much of a chance here. LSU, one of the best teams in the SEC, one of the top 12 or 13 teams in college football. If they find a quarterback, maybe they upset Bama and win the SEC. They certainly don't have to pull off an upset here. Syracuse loses to follow a downturn that's pretty considerable. They do face an incredibly tough schedule. Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina State, Louisville in its own division. They've got to face Miami out of the Coastal. They've got LSU on the road in non-conference play. So as you can see, Syracuse goes on a run of losing all those games in a row. The most likely win in there is Pitt at home. I give Syracuse a 40% chance of winning that game. Other than that, they lose all those consecutive games. And then they face Boston College at home with a 55% chance of winning over the Eagles to conclude 2017. So despite the addition of Eric Dungy, hopefully playing an entire season for Dino Babers, and the head coach who talks a great game, and he's actually a good head coach as well, talking up the up-tempo offense being even quicker in 2017. Syracuse falls to 3-9. It's just a 1-7 finish for the Orange in ACC play. Final for 2017, Syracuse at 3-9, 1-7 in the conference. Need to hear from you now on Mark Rogers TV.